So in this video, we are going to talk about logical operators. All right, so the first thing, as you can see here, I went ahead and created already our playground project called logical operators. So go ahead and create your own project and name it logical operators. By now, you are a pro at doing this, so I'll let you do that. So, all right, so the first thing we're going to look at, it's going to be the not. So it's going to be the logical not. The logical not is an exclamation point, as you can see up here. Now let's go ahead and create two variables here. Let's say var a is equal to 1 and var b is equal to 4. Now these logical operators I'm going to be showing you will make much more sense once we start learning about if statements. So for now, we're just going to learn about them and how to use them. And then later, once I show you about if statements, then we're going to start putting this knowledge we're getting here into practice. Okay, so let's do something here. Let's say we want to compare A and B. Now, in order for us to compare A and B, we would say A, we put double equals B. Remember, this double equal here is very important because we're not assigning B to A, right? So double equal means we are comparing A to B. And you look to the right here in our console, it says false. The reason why it's saying false is because indeed, if you look at A is 1 and B is 4. Those are not the same. Now, you may also say, why is this saying false here? What is this? Now, there's not a type of variable called Boolean. A Boolean essentially returns false or true. Just think of a Boolean as a variable that can hold false or true, off or on, 0 or 1. Those are the two states Booleans hold. So in this comparison here is returning a Boolean, which is indeed false or true. In this case is false because 1 is not equal to 4. Now, in order to use the not logical operator here, we go ahead and get rid of the first equal and put in exclamation mark. So it's going to be shift and hit the 1 key. You get this. So now what are we saying here? We are saying A not equal, because as we say logical not, so the exclamation point negates whatever comes after. So now here we're saying A not equal to B. Well, that is true, and it says true because A is not equal to B. A is 1, B is 4. Great. Now let's go ahead and look at the next logical operator here. It's going to be AND. And for AND, we use 2 ampersands. So the ampersands, you go shift and hit the 7 key twice. There we go. We have our AND. Now let's go ahead and change this into actual Boolean. Let's go and say A equals to true. And we're going to change B to be false. All right, so let's go ahead, put this at the bottom here so we have more space. Now let's go ahead and say something. Let's go ahead and say A and say shift 7, so 2 ampersands, and B. Let's see what we are going to get here. So if you look to the right here in our console, it says false. It turns out that AND, if one of the variables that we're comparing is false, then everything is false. That's why we're getting false here, because as you can see here, A is true, B is false. If we say A and B, the result is going to be false. Go ahead and say AND is always false if one variable is false. And again, this will make a lot more sense the later time when we start putting all of this into action. Now, the next one we're going to go and take a look, it's going to be the OR. OR sign is going to be shift and go ahead and hit the backslash key twice, and we have those 2 pipes there. That's going to be our OR. Okay, now let's go ahead here, put this at the bottom. Now let's go ahead and say A or B. What's going to happen here? Oh, look at that. You probably have noticed something very interesting here, because if we said AND, we know that if only one is false, then the result is going to be false. Doesn't matter if the other variable is true or false, it's always going to be false. Turns out that OR is different from AND, of course, in that is the opposite, right? Because now if you look to the right, the result is true, even though we have one false. So with OR, we can infer that is always true if 1 is true. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I have to tell you now, you've just learned one of the basics concepts in computer science. All right. So again, if this is not making a lot of sense right now, I promise you it will make a lot of sense later. But you just understand here, we have logical, not, and or. So these are the basics ones, logical operators we are going to use many times in our programming career. All right. All right. So good job. Go ahead and play around with this concept again, and I'll see you in the next videos.